In this video, I'm very pleased to be finally driving a Microlino. It's the modern incarnation of the BMW Isetta. We drove one of those quite recently, but this is electric. It is Swiss engineered, it is built in Turin in Italy, and they look absolutely fantastic. I've been desperate to have a look around, so it's not all good. We are going to find issues, but let's see what the little Microlino is actually like to drive. Before we leap in, just take in the styling. I know retro is kind of done to death, but I think they've done a beautiful job on the Microlino. Just like the original Isetta, we've got a sunshine roof, manual folding, we've got the sliding windows, and the earlier Isettas had the headlamps mounted in pods like this. So we've got the indicators, I think, of these strips here, and then we've got the headlights on the side. A massive windscreen wiper, which seems to give fairly good coverage. Obviously we will be testing that, and the front door lifts up to allow access. We've got the charge flap is here, so that's where you charge up. It's only got a type 2 connector, so they reckon it'll charge in 4 hours off a household plug. You can't rapid charge it, so even though you can get various battery options which we'll go through, perhaps this isn't a long distance commuting vehicle. I mean, it shouldn't be really. Look at it, it's tiny. The wacky rear styling, independent suspension, McPherson strut all round. It's a beautiful bit of design work, but does a beautiful bit of design work translate into a nice drive? We shall find out. This one is French registered, as you probably noticed, so it hasn't got a front number plate. But because it's a quadricycle, so it doesn't actually require one. But to get in, you press the button and the door opens like so. There's a keyhole, which I think is a manual override if the central locking is broken. And then here you go, you've got your phone mount from the factory, hence that. Got the little display there for some extra buttons, hazard lights on a switch, charge points here, grab handles. This has the luxury interior option, so a mixture of suede and a fake leather, vegan leather is described as. So we'll have a proper look around the interior in a moment, but while we're out here we'll check the boot, and this is where things become a little problematic. So here is the key, standard PSA group, I think. You have to press and hold and wait, and eventually the boot does go, okay, I'll open. We open it up. It's a decent size in here. There's no cover, but plenty of room for easily a weekend away. We got what we got up there. Some things related to something, I'm not entirely sure. Under the floor, there's a little tray of goodies. No spare wheel. Got the main battery pack is hidden under there, and I think the 12 volt one is hidden under this flap here. And there's an isolator over there as well. But yeah, decent amount of space, more space than an original, and more space than you'll find in a Citroen AME, but then the price is so much more. But the quality, it feels really good. Listen to that. It's a really well built little car, I think, with possible exception of the heated rear window cables, which just stick out like so. But let's hop in and have a proper look around. I may move it so we haven't got the sun right in our eyeballs. So there we go. We are in the Microlino. You grab the handle. Got to move forward a bit to do that. You pull the door down nice and gently. You haven't got to slam it because it has full soft closure going on. We've got sliding windows. These are manually controlled, so like so, for a bit of ventilation. Along with the roof, we have got plenty of it, and the roof is a joy to use. Look, it sort of goes down like that. That is locked in. Then to open it, just that, and back we go. Beautifully simple. Lovely little micro on the head restraints, and I forgot to show you the cute little key ring. Look at that, cute little Microlino key ring. So left-hand drive only. There is no right-hand drive option. We've got column stalks out of a Berlingo, I think. The steering wheel itself, quite sporty, you know, 3 spokes. We've got the gear controller down here, and look at this little diagram. That is your sport mode. I don't know if that makes any difference whatsoever. We'll give it a try. The mirrors built into the headlamp pods. which is nice. The phone holder, as we discussed. So yeah, it's nice and spacious. There's a fair bit of storage going on. We got cup holders, we got little baskets there. The windscreen wash of fluid, I think, is under here. If it'll let me in. It might not let me in. It's fine. I'm not going to take it personally, but there's a little icon there. A 2-pedal drive, of course. Yeah, it feels quite funky. We should probably fire the beast up, and this is where we have another problem. Put my foot on the brake, and I've turned the key. I've started the car. Things start clicking and clunking. It just takes forever. This is real time. This is how long it takes. And it starts firing up, and we get little buttons there. So that's our heater controls. We can turn the temperature up, turn the fan up. I'm told it's quite good. Also has heated front and rear windscreens, apparently. So that's good from that point of view. Here is our dash display. You can change the settings and make it look a bit different, but I quite like this one. We've got 93% battery at the moment. It has covered 1,389 kilometers in total. And yeah, it's reading kilometers because it's set up for Europe. And that's it. So you just twist this, put your foot on the brake, you twist the selector to drive or reverse, and you're away. So I'll get you set up in the mount and we'll do just that. I can contain myself no longer. Oh, it's on the blade, but you got to mind you. Oh, that's loud. Big wiper though, look at that. Oh, good washers. So much better coverage on the windscreen than the AMI. The AMI just basically doesn't do the passenger side at all. Oh, and I get an extra wipe because I washed. Is that? I don't know. No. There we go. I haven't got the stalk in the right place. We are finally stopped. There is no rear wiper, unfortunately. Hazard lights. Nice quiet. I mean, obviously it's a fake tick, but as fake ticks go, I don't mind that one at all. And foot on the brake, into drive. Handbrake is to my right, and you'll notice straight away, but it's very loud. Rather than being one of those quiet cars that's, you know, silent and creeps up on you, this one makes quite a lot of noise. It is not a quiet machine at all. Let's just find our way out of here. But, you know, picks up nicely. That's foot flat to the floor. But there's just a bit of shunt when you come on and off the throttle. So in terms of refinement, overall the levels are good. I think it's a really well built thing, but I was expecting a bit better from the motor, I must admit. And also it really doesn't like speed humps. Ooh, especially those ones. But it seems to handle nice. No power steering, it really doesn't need it. And there is a light version as well, which means with the light version, under 17s can drive it. 16-year-olds in the UK with an AM license can drive the Microlino Light. They can also drive the Citroen AMI, but the Microlino Light, like the AMI, is limited to 28 miles an hour, which is not very much. So no mini hub nut. We will not be getting one of those. It would be absolutely lethal on the roads where we are. It's fine in a town or a city, but around here, absolutely not. Might as well put the handbrake on while we're waiting. The mirror is mounted a bit high for me. It doesn't actually show much rear view, but it is just stuck on, so you could lower it down if you wanted to. There is no entertainment built in, so bring your Bluetooth speaker would be my suggestion, if you can hear it above the motor. Aha! Finally! "30 miles an hour, mild buffeting. That's 40. I don't think we're going to hit 50 before the roundabout. But it seems to ride pretty well, given how short the wheelbase is and how tiny the rear track is. I don't think it's bad at all. But we shall head into Cambridge for city streets is kind of what we're seeking, really. No adjustable level of regen. It doesn't feel like there's very much. That's a big pothole. Let's see who we can beat on the traffic light Grand Prix. Go, 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 everyone. It sounds much faster than it in fact is. But really it's not meant for hammering around on the faster roads. It can do it. Top speed I believe is 56 miles an hour or 90 kilometers an hour. Which to be honest is enough. That's not going to disgrace anywhere. Although motorways might be a little hairy. You're restricted to the same speed as the trucks. This one has the 10.5 kilowatt hour battery pack. Which is the mid-range. There is a 5.5 in the light. That gets you all of about 40 kilometers of range. This should do about 100, but there is no range prediction, so I can't really back that up with any form of science. But yeah, it's good visibility, even though these pillars are quite chunky. It's quite easy to see what's going on all around you. But this is kind of where it's happiest. And of course the beauty of electric cars, even Cambridge is bringing in 20 mile an hour speed limits in places. Unless your motor doesn't really care what speed you're doing. There's not a happy point in an electric motor's range, but you need to try and keep it. That's why electric motors make so much sense in city cars. You know, power consumption obviously much reduced when you're just sitting there doing absolutely nothing. I'm sure the heater takes a bit of range. It will only be a simple resistance heater. The big problem is they're sold through Crazy Horse. You get a lot of attention. Crazy Horse in the UK, and I think they list them at around £18,000. £18,000 gets you a proper EV like a Leapmotor TO3 or the Dacia Spring, or even, you know, a lightly used MG4. So you need to really want one of these, but I mean that's what it's about, isn't it? That's what the funky looks are all about. It's to make you want it, to make it a bit different. It is a bit of fun, whereas the original BMW Isetta was built to be a very cheap car. I'm very, very honoured that Also Driven have let me drive the Microlino today. They are the temporary custodians of it. And yeah, I'm very, very pleased to get my chance in a Microlino, especially after driving the BMW Isetta. I mean, this is worlds apart. This does not feel like it's going to fall over, and it's much, much more refined. It's just that motor noise. I mean, if you like a bit of mechanical noise, then you're going to like this, because there is some. But I like EVs because they're quiet, and this patently isn't. Especially when you lift off, it is really noisy. Oh, it's worth pointing out, it has no form of creep, so it won't start moving until you put your foot on the throttle. Also doesn't have any hill hold, so you do have to use the handbrake. Which isn't unreasonable. I know some people like a creep because it behaves more like a conventional automatic, so I guess it's a little bit each to their own. But because it's a quadricycle rather than a car, it doesn't need an airbag, it doesn't need to meet any particularly stringent crash standards, even though they've put a lot of work into trying to make it safe, and it doesn't have ABS. That's a really bad pothole, and that actually feels like a really stiff structure. It seems to take the bumps really well, actually. I've had a couple of horrendous potholes, and it just absorbs them, tracks straight and true. Like I say, there's a lot of good engineering gone into this, which makes it much more than a flimsy quadricycle. Right, I've put it in sport mode now. We'll see if that makes any difference. It's made the speedometer go red. That may be it. That may be all it does. We'll burn off the learner driver at the traffic lights. Handbrake on because there's no creep. And it allows you to do a quicker getaway as well because my foot is already hovering over that throttle. I can't say that feels any quicker at all. I think sport mode may be a con, you know. $50, just about. And now we're on maximum regen. Yeah, I think this drives a lot better, especially out on the open road, than I anticipated. Clear road, so let's just accelerate. My foot is flat to the floor. 40. That's 50, which is the speed limit. So I can't quite take it up to 56, which is the claimed top speed, but no reason to doubt it will get there. Let's close that window as well. So there is some noise. It's not the quietest vehicle at speed, still doing 51 miles an hour. But for a quadricycle, I don't think it's bad. It's just obviously a proper car will be more refined than this. But I love this. This is intriguing. This is what we're missing a bit in the world of modern cars. It's people having a go. It's small startups. It's interesting, different stuff. I like this a great deal. I think Microlino have done a great job with it. Sure, there's some things that could be better. That could be a bit quicker to start up. The boot could open quicker. The motor could be quieter. It feels like it's hard mounted to the body, but as a piece of fun, as a statement, but as something that you can genuinely use every day, I think it's brilliant. More of this sort of thing, please. Well, that is certainly a very different sort of a test drive and a very different sort of a vehicle. Can't really call it a car. It is technically a quadricycle. Just let the door latch itself shut. But yeah, a fascinating drive and a lot more soundly engineered than perhaps I expected. Having driven the Ami, which is kind of like riding some canteen chairs down a cobbled street, that feels very different. That feels like something you could live with. You notice we've got the little DRLs on at the moment because I've left it running, if you like. But yeah, really enjoyed that. So huge thanks to Also Driven for letting me drive this vehicle. Who knows where it might appear next. And I shall see you in a future video. Farewell. Oh, I forgot to mention, if you ever get trapped in, the button is behind here. And that's what then opens the door.